It's time now for another installment of Flashpoint. This morning, Erik Sandoval talks with DeCarlo from the Center, Orlando.
Good morning, I'm Erik Sandoval, gay rights advocate, community leader. Throughout his time here in Orlando, Terry DeCarlo has been a key player in the LGBTQ community. And even though his job title has changed at the Center of Orlando, his mission is still very much the same. Terry DeCarlo is our guest on Flashpoint this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You are now the communications director of the center. You know, that's a little shift in your position there.
Well, it's a little shift in the position. A lot of stuff I was still doing, especially, you know, around the center and directly after Pulse. You know, that took up the mainstay of my job. You know, it's been a rough 2 years.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. You know, the center has been very, very busy over the last year.
Right.
You've been hands deep in all of that.
Yeah. You know, I started at the center about the month after I moved into the center. I actually moved the staff out into a separate temporary location so we could put the new building under construction.
Right.
So that was the first foray into, you know, let's get the center moving and get the new building up. And directly in the middle of all the construction project, then Pulse happened.
Well, I was going to say, so last year you had actually announced your departure. You were going to Miami, and then Pulse happened.
Right.
And the center took on a whole different, I want to say it strengthened the center's core of the gay community here in Orlando.
It became what it was supposed to be. It became the hub of the community. And when I say the community, I just don't mean the LGBT community, I mean all of Orlando, because everybody showed up at the center. It became the place to get a hug. It became a place to lift a case of water. People in Orlando, the day of Pulse and the weeks following Pulse, were all hurting. And they wanted to stand together and be with people who felt like they felt, and they all converged on the center. So yeah, it took on a whole new job, a whole new role, but it's what it should have been doing all along. So we just fell right in.
Okay, so the center became that hub on June 12, 2016. We're more than a year later now. Does it still have that centerpiece in Orlando?
It does. It does. People, you know, before Pulse, we were seeing about 5,000 people through our doors every single month. Now, after June 12th, we saw an uptick of about 7,000. Now we're seeing about 7,500, 8,000 people. I target that to people finding out about the center after June 12th and realizing, oh my God, there it is, and here's what we do.
Well, and you mentioned it's a place to get a hug. It's a place for reassurance. What else does the center do? What else do they provide the community?
Well, we're the largest HIV tester in Central Florida, and one of the largest in the state of Florida. We're doing close to between 500 and 600 HIV tests per month.
Wow.
We do hepatitis C testing, and we do STD testing. All the STD is 5 days a week, the rest are 7 days a week, and it's all free.
Wow.
So people can stop in and get tested. We have counselors there 5 days a week. We have community groups. We have upwards of 16 community groups, and now that we're in the new center, we have more space. We're seeing things rise and even more groups asking for space.
Before Pulse happened versus now, what are your clientele telling you? What is a story that stands out to you? Comments?
Oh my God, there's so many stories that came out of that, and people found a home. They realized the center was, for lack of a better word, what I said before, the hub, and they know they can come there. It's a safe space. Straight, gay, black, white, yellow, green, it doesn't matter. People come in, and we're there, no matter what problem they might have, if they just want to come on and hang out. I mean, we added a cyber center to the new center.
That's great.
So they can come in and just get on the computers. They know it's a home and they feel safe, and they can come in and say anything to us.
That's
and
great.
We'll be there to help them.
Well, we laid the groundwork in this part of the segment. We have a lot more to talk about with Terry DeCarlo. We will be right back right after this.
This was about military readiness. This was about unit cohesion. This was about resources within the military.
They signed up, they're fighting for our country. They're fighting for us. And basically say, nah, we don't want you. It's quite discerning.
And that is the Center Orlando's Terry DeCarlo talking with News 6 last July following the news that President Trump's transgender ban in the armed forces was going to affect. He, of course, joins us this Sunday on Flashpoint. You are an Air Force veteran.
Correct.
So, you know, those comments that we just heard, I'm sure, came from your heart. Mm-hmm. Now that it's policy, how are you feeling now?
Upset.
Yeah.
You know, these people, as I said, they're capable. There is no draft. They signed up for this. They knew what they were signing up for. Mm-hmm. They knew they wanted to get in there and take care of you and take care of I and take care of our families and support our country. And for no reason, and I'm still dumbfounded as to what reasoning they have behind this, to say we don't want you, even though you volunteered for this. Mm-hmm. You know, I have volunteers at the center. You can imagine if I turned around to them and said, "Yeah, I don't want you." It's not right. It's really not right. These people are more than capable, and it's disheartening.
And we hearken back to, you know, when President Clinton, Bill Clinton, mm-hmm. you know, introduced Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And, right. you know, it seemed at the time, and it actually seemed up until President Trump made this announcement, that the military was actually opening its doors, mm-hmm. making itself more accepting.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It was very welcoming. I just said I was in the military. Mm-hmm. I know the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the sisterhood. We were in a co-ed dorm. You know, mm-hmm. everybody lived together. And you know you're there for a reason, mm-hmm. And you're there to protect and serve.
And the fact that you would have been transgender, would that have made a difference?
No. No. And you're just, people are people, and these are people. And these are people who wanted to join, to fight for you and I and the rest of this country. And the reasoning behind it, it just makes no sense to me.
Let's move on. In July, it's been a tough 2 years. Mm-hmm. You and I were talking before we started this. You know, last year we had Pulse. We've lost a lot of people in this community, but in July we lost Billy Maines, right, who was really, you know, an outspoken advocate for the LGBTQ community. You know, how do you think his loss is affecting Orlando and Central Florida?
Billy was a force. He was a character. But he was one that stood up for this community, for the LGBT community, and he didn't have a filter. And if he didn't like something, he told you he didn't like it, and he'd give you the reasoning why. And you know, I looked up to Billy, you know, because of that, because of his writings, because of he would speak out when he didn't agree with something. So it is a loss for our community, and we'll forever hold him in our hearts.
Well, do you think he's going to have a lasting legacy? Do you see other people maybe poised in the wings to sort of be that boisterous voice?
You know, I hope so. And probably not as loud as Billy, but I hope so. I hope somebody will emerge that will be that yelling voice that Billy was.
Billy's passing, of course, hit his husband, Tony, very hard. Mm-hmm. Understandably, it hit a lot of people here in Central Florida hard. And we're talking about memorials. You know, we know private one happened in early August. Right. And another one happening over the weekend. Mm-hmm. Are there any mass memorials? Do you know? How's
Not
the
that
center?
I've heard of. They're, you know, they're popping up, and as they're popping up, you know, Tony's taking care of it, and mm-hmm. and as he puts it out, we will get it out so people know, because there's a lot of people that want to remember Billy.
Let's move on to Pulse just a little bit more. You know, the One Pulse Foundation sent out a video on social media. It was Pulse owner Barbara Palma saying she wants to see this site memorialized, mm-hmm. and this was really the big push for fundraising. You know, I know you are very close with the details of trying to put together this memorial. What do you want to see?
Well, I sit on the task force with Barbara. And I absolutely adore Barbara, mm-hmm. and the rest of the foundation and the people that I sit on that task force with. And we're meeting monthly to figure out. I mean, they're putting out a survey. They're asking the community, what would you like to see? Mm-hmm. And how do you want this to look? So we're looking to the community and the families and the survivors to guide us to say, this is what we want to see. So we'll see what happens, but I know that with Barbara in charge, and like I said, I adore that woman. It's in good hands, and what's going to be done is going to be tasteful, and it's going to be what the families and the community actually wants to be there.
And at the surface, it sounds like an easy concept, but I'm sure the mechanics in this are just incredible.
They really have done their legwork. They've gone to Oklahoma, they've gone to Boston, they've gone to New York. They're working with them, they're getting their input. How did you do this? What did you do? What did you do wrong? What can we,
What did you learn along the way?
What did you learn about this? So they're doing it the right way. And like I said, they bring it back to us at the task force and said, this is what was said. What do you think? What should we do? And it's all voices. And it's funny to sit in some of those meetings because the voices go back and forth at each other.
I'm sure they do.
And whatever comes about, I know it's going to end up being something that Orlando can be proud of, and the world will want to come see.
Is there a timetable yet set up? No deadlines?
No.
Just trying to get it right.
Trying to get it. We have to get it right. We have to make sure it's right.
All right. On that note, have you seen the attitudes of Central Florida change in the wake of Pulse? The attitudes towards LGBTQ community? Directly
afterwards, yes.
Yeah.
You had that. And I always say, directly after Pulse, there was no LGBT, there was no gay, straight, black, red, yellow. Everybody was just together. It was one community because this community was hurt. And it wasn't, it might have been in an LGBT club, but, and so many LGBT people were killed in that club, but everybody felt it. So everybody came together. Have we seen some cracks in that? Yes, we do, and we try. And
in what form do you see these cracks?
In some, there's been some rumblings of hate crimes. There's been some, people who have been chased and called names and stuff like that. And you think back after Pulse and you think, wow, everybody stood together and everybody was, no matter who they were holding that rainbow flag. 50,000 people at Lake Eola.
Right.
And you don't want to see that end. Because if we could do it then, and it can happen, we know it can happen, it can stay that way. So can you imagine if that resonated around the world, how beautiful it would be, but you get those little cracks. So you try and spackle them and pull them back together when they happen. We're doing a good job so far.
Fantastic. So on that note, what message would you have to younger LGBTQ, men, women, transgender, coming to terms with who they are, what they are, and stepping foot and living life here in Central Florida? What advice would you have?
Just what you just said, live your life. Be who you are. Don't ever try and be something you're not, or be something that somebody else wants you to be. If you feel that somebody is trying to sway you a certain way, or somebody is doing something, or you have a family member who is telling you what you're doing is wrong, you know what, come by the center.
I was about to say, because the center, that is one of the services the center provides.
Correct. Come by and talk to us, and there's plenty of places. There's, for the younger generation, we have Zebra Coalition, we have the Orlando Youth Alliance, we have so many organizations, and these kids who are finally coming to terms with themselves shouldn't have to take a step back because somebody else has a misconception of what they should be. And we here at the center, we're ready for them. We have counselors, and like I said, Zebra's right across the street.
I was going to say, and real quickly, do you find people are coming out of the closet, coming to terms with who they are younger these days?
Yeah, they really are. I was looking at a report today of a transgender camp. And it has doubled the amount of people going to this transgender camp, and it's kids between the age, I believe, of 6 and 12. And this year they doubled the amount of people going to camp.
Wow.
So people are coming out earlier, people are realizing how they want to live their lives, and it can be confusing at times to them and to the parents.
Yes.
Let's not forget the parents, because it can be confusing to both. So we have had parents come in and say, hey, my son came to me and told me he's transgender. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do.
Come to the center.
Come on over and we'll talk with you. And we have plenty of people there to help. And the same with the kids. Right. Stop on over. If we can't help you, we're going to send you across the street to Zebra.
Excellent. Terry DeCarlo, thank you so much for being with us this morning on Flashpoint. More news and weather coming up your way in just a few minutes here on News 6. Terry, again, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
I appreciate it.